Today is 888th day to come here to lessons to learn. I'm learning how this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about seasons life. But how those seasons lives really resonates with our life and how it aligns and how that aligns with our decision making process. Because I truly believe that every single person goes through cycles in life, and that there's a lot of cycles. We have autumn, we have winter, we have spring, we have summer, and then we do this again. And I think that every single person have different kind of seasons. That's when we live in different locations have different seasons. I think that different person, based on their decision making process, they live in a winter, autumn, spring, or summer in a different length. Some people live all their life in the winter, and then their life never gets better. And some people live always, almost always in summer, just very short seasons of winter, very short season of autumn. All the time is just spring and summer. And today I want to really focus on understanding how we able to really reduce internal winter. Internal winter. That means that we are able to live in internally winter. And a lot of times, like when we really actual season is summer, it's a beautiful day outside. There's this sun shining, blue skies. You're able to go and enjoy your life, but internally you are a massive autumn. It's a massive rain, so maybe you internally in a massive winter, and everything is cold. So that means that we are responsible how we feel internally and what kind of season do we have internally. And I think that a lot of times we give too much control to the external circumstances to control our seasons internally. And today I think that I will share like just a glimpse what we're supposed to think about seasons internally and what we potentially could do to really reduce the time. How long do we spend on that particular season? So when I think about autumn is for me when I think about life, and you will live life and you live a pretty good life. You maybe achieve some certain success, and then at some point external things start to change. Maybe the technology changing, maybe the managers in the company changing, maybe competition changing and adding up. Like there's some kind of changes happening not because of you, but because of the circumstances, because of external things. And now maybe you were in a massive summer in your life. And now because of those changes, now you start to feel that maybe all the success starts to go down the hill. And you do not know what to do now. Like what we supposed to do. So at some point you just say, wait for a second, just double check if the really is going downhill. And after some point you really start to feel that it's not going well. It's really going worse and worse and worse. And you start to understand that will must be changed. It must be changed by you. Now, external change and I habit, so you're not able to control it. But there will be some changes that will be must be done by you to really adjust, pivot based on that change externally. What kind of changes you need to make sure that you put it position yourself to the best position possible. So if there is a massive competition, what kind of edge you able to build again to make sure that that competition doesn't beat you? Because there's so many stories where the massive corporations was beaten by small companies who just outperform, who out innovated the large corporations, who were not flexible enough, not adaptable enough to make things happen, to change, to improve, get better. So that means that when you start to see that we are going downhill, and that's autumn, that's a season, that's a cycle, that's okay. Because the next step after we are in autumn, when you start to see that there is a lot of things falling down, at some point we need to say that okay, I need to move from this autumn season. I need to move to winter. And what is winter? Winter is a reflection season. Reflection season, that means I need to look into what's going on. And that reflection season is decision making season as well. Reflection and decision making season. So that means that when autumn is finishing, when you know that you understand that you need to make changes, then you really start to think about what kind of changes do I need to make? That's where is the key part. Because a lot of people stuck in winter because they always stuck in that reflection mode and decision making mode. So they always thinking between two paths. Like I have this path, maybe like even 5 paths, and which one to take? Because people stay in one season in winter for years, for decades, because they never make the decision to choose a path. So the sooner you choose a path, the sooner you are able to leave the winter. So now when you say you chose the path and when you start taking action, then no, basically when you choose a path, then spring is happening. Because until you make a decision, there is so many disappointments. Because you feel that you're stagnant, you feel that you're not moving anywhere. But you finally, when you make that decision, when you stay in that decision, then you start moving to spring. Because those taking actions, those small actions towards that new dream, new change, new improvement, really allows to start to feel, oh, some changes is happening. And summer is when you really take those actions and you really build momentum with those actions. Because summer is when you know what to do and how to do and you start to get results out of it. So spring is all about starting taking actions, and summer is about momentum and really results. But you're not able to get results without really reflecting, making a decision, taking actions, building momentum, and really starting to get results. So when I think about, as I said, that it depends on every single person how long they will be in certain season. So that means that in the autumn is a season when you really still thinking that okay, let's work, and you still you already see that you're going downhill, but you're not doing anything about it. And at some point it will go down. So that means at some point you still will need to adjust. And so autumn begins when you start reflecting and say like, yeah, I will need to make a change. And winter season is still going on when you're still making choices and you think, oh, should I do this? Should I do this? So procrastination is the winter season. And when you finally start, okay, like I need to make a decision, I'll make a decision. So that is the springtime, because you take a decision, make a decision, and you start taking actions. And because of those actions, you start to see the small things coming up that you are proud of. And when the spring finishes, you are able to build momentum, you start building results, and of course, you live in that summer until you finish the season of this career, of this. It could be different things, that could be business, because every single business requires change at some point. Technology changes, and that's what some business who are for 60 years, because they're able to adjust, pivot, transform themselves, evolve into something different. There's so many businesses who have evolved from one thing to another, and that's why they are great businesses. That's because they understood that there is seasons, and sometimes you just need to transform yourself, because all the things that worked in the past will not work anymore. I think that's what one biggest thing is, that why people quit on their success, is that they think that the things that worked in the past will work in the future. They think that the things that worked in the past will work in the future, but that's not true. Now, some things will work, but that is based on how you work. So that means that work ethic, what worked in the past, work ethic will work. But again, we need to understand that some things we will need to change and pivot to make sure that we're able to really keep going in that cycle, because cycles were able to really increase. As I said, we're able to be just short period of autumn, short period of winter, short period of spring. Maybe some of the springs could be long, but the longer the spring is, the longer the summer will be as well. So I hope that you reflect as well. What kind of season are you in? Are you in down the hill season? Are you in reflection and decision making season? Are you in taking action season? Or are you already build momentum and really getting results? Because based on that will allow you to understand that how emotionally, internally season supposed to be you as well. Because sometimes people really succeeding in life, but they feel that they are not enough. I think that when you realize that you're always more than enough, always supposed to be content, and it doesn't matter what kind of season I'm in. I think that if in life general seasons, everyone have joy in every season. And I think that we're supposed to find joy in internal seasons as well. Because there is a lot of things to learn, to improve, get better. Because life will not be life without seasons. So I think that we're supposed to be grateful going through a season as well. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.